Across the field, however, Ohio State standout defensive ends, Jack Sawyer and JT Tomolo, recognized the song and responded by dancing to the rhythm. It was a fitting moment that symbolized Ohio State's complete dominance over Oregon, having taken control of nearly every aspect of the game, leading to a 41-21 victory in the college football playoff quarterfinals. The result propelled Ohio State, seeded 8th, into a matchup with Texas next week while ending the hopes of top-seeded Oregon. It also raised an interesting point for Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti, who was in attendance but did not provide any comment. There is speculation that Petitti may have been pleased that Penn State also made the semifinals after their win over Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl, but he might have been frustrated that Oregon and Ohio State, both top-tier teams, faced off against each other so early in the playoffs. A different seeding process based solely on rankings could have potentially allowed both teams to advance further. Currently, the college football playoff system prioritizes conference championships over ranking, which led to this early clash. Had the selection committee seeded teams by ranking, Oregon would have been no. 1 and Ohio State no. 6, leading to a different matchup bracket that could have resulted in both teams reaching the semifinals, alongside Penn State, which would have been seeded no. 4. Petitti and the other commissioners are set to meet in Atlanta in a few weeks, and changes to the selection process may be on the table. It's likely that the Big Ten and SEC commissioners will push for reforms, possibly seeking to eliminate the seed preference given to conference champions. Such changes could be aimed at better reflecting the performance of top-ranked teams, especially in the case of the Big Ten, which often sees its teams ranked higher than those from other conferences. Another notable aspect of the Rose Bowl was Oregon's sluggish performance, which many attributed to the 24-day break leading into the game. This long layoff seemed to have caused rust and sluggishness, particularly in comparison to Ohio State, which had played just 11 days prior in the opening round of the playoffs. Oregon, as the No. 1 seed, was at a distinct competitive disadvantage against an Ohio State team that had already been battle-tested in recent weeks. This issue also appeared to affect other higher-seeded teams with extended breaks, as lower-seeded opponents surged ahead early in their games. Oregon's playoff struggles continued against Ohio State, as they now have a history of being outclassed by the Buckeyes. The Ducks lost 42-20 to Ohio State in the 2014 National Championship, and now, just a decade later, they faced another lopsided defeat of 41-21. Despite the setbacks, the Ducks are still in pursuit of a national title for their benefactor, Phil Knight.